Have you recently heard about a Florida bill that critics are calling the Don't Say Gay bill, or HB 1557? There's been a lot of confusing messaging surrounding this bill and what it will and won't do. Hi, I'm Emily Mahoney, political editor at the Tampa Bay Times. You may have heard about this bill on Saturday Night Live, where comedians said that it would mean that you wouldn't even be allowed to acknowledge that gay people exist. That's not accurate. Governor Ron DeSantis has also been talking a lot about this bill lately, and he said recently that it would prevent kids in grades 3rd and younger from learning about any sexual topics at all. That's not what the bill says either. The most inflammatory framing came from the governor's press secretary, Christina Pushaw, who said it would prevent kids from getting, quote, groomed and being taught about sex. What the actual text of the bill says is classroom instruction by school personnel or third parties on sexual orientation or gender identity may not occur in kindergarten through grade 3 or in a manner that is not age appropriate or developmentally appropriate for students in accordance with state standards. The State Department of Education would be the ultimate authority on what is appropriate for kids. If parents are unhappy about what their kids are being taught in school, they can bring their concerns to the district or file a lawsuit. That's it. That's the entirety of the bill language related to this topic. And of course, the fact that it's so short and offers so few specifics does create some ambiguity. Now, Republican lawmakers have said that the bill does not prohibit student-led discussions that touch on sexual orientation or gender identity, such as if a student mentions their same-sex parents as part of an assignment on their family tree. But lessons focused on those themes in K through 3 would be prohibited, although Republican lawmakers have acknowledged that those lessons already are not being taught, and they've said that it's mostly preventative. But to better understand what this bill means, let's put it in context. This bill is part of a nationwide push by Republican legislatures around the country passing bills that target LGBTQ youth. States like Florida have banned trans women and girls from participating in scholastic sports. States are restricting students' access to books with LGBTQ themes, and Texas is punishing parents that get their kids gender-affirming care. When Republicans gathered at CPAC a couple weeks ago, they talked about how teaching kids about transgender issues sows, quote, gender confusion and undermines traditional family values. Republicans also want to create greater parental involvement in their kids' education. Opponents of the bill, including queer high schoolers who protested around the state, said its intent is to marginalize them and make them feel like just by existing as an LGBTQ person, they are causing controversy. But when it comes to legislative intent, people will often turn to the bill's sponsor. Senate sponsor Dennis Baxley said shortly before the bill passed that he's concerned about the growing number of students coming out as gay and trans, and claimed that school lessons may be to blame. His exact quote was, "My question is simply, are we encouraging this or illuminating it by putting emphasis on it?" For more news and in-depth coverage of this bill, you can find all of our coverage on tampabay.com.